Hello Internet, my name is Corey and welcome back with another episode of Roll Reveal, this time coming to you hot from the Great Sand Dunes National Park here in Colorado. Easily my favorite national park that I've ever been to, solely because it's unlike any national park I've ever been to. It is the tallest sand dunes in North America, and it's located 3 hours from my house here in Colorado, so you can't really beat that. Did I mention it's in Colorado, of all places too? I think it's another reason why I dig it so much. It's a very low-key national park. It's a little hectic in the summer, don't get me wrong, because the surrounding mountains create an artificial river that runs through the dune field. That itself is just a phenomenon to watch. However, it's pretty nuts and belligerently hot in the daytime, so the sunrise and sunset is your best bet, and I'm going to dive a little bit into that later in this episode. But let's get Epson rolling in here, and of course I've already got it up. And of course I've already got some massive light leaks rolling in. And as you can tell, I've only got 2 frames. So I've already donated a negative to the film god. Starting off strong. Very strong. Let's get a full res of this nice blown out light leak at least. Got the Epson rolled up here. And of course, like I mentioned just a second ago, massive light leak rolling in. And this is the second frame of the roll. I should have a number 1 next to that. So I have no idea where the first frame actually went. It's gone. I will say though, this actually looks kind of cool. Of course, I said that in the last episode too with the light leak. It's kind of cool. I know. It's annoying as hell though, because I'm losing frames and therefore I'm just wasting money. But again, it's kind of cool. This is mirrored right now, so the bush is actually giving me the left side. Put the negative in backwards. It happens. I'm gonna zoom back out and get the, I guess, third shot of the roll coming in here. Like I said in the intro, Great Sand Dunes National Park is the coolest national park I've ever been to. Not literally, because again, it's belligerently hot in the daytime. So a lot of the time spent there is more or less hiding in the shade. I have done some backcountry stuff there too, which is in the surrounding forest. Again, ducking away from the sunlight. I think I was just getting a little artsy here with a low angle composition, getting some depth of field. This was actually the same scene from the previous negative. I think I just moved up a little bit. Again, got the sand dunes, got the mountains in the back, which is kind of cool. A little blue. So I think if I were to really dig into this, I would bump down the blues a bit. Right now, I'm going to kind of go through everything first, I think, just because these two aren't really jumping out at me. If anything, I'm probably going to scan the light leak one because, you know, that's what we do. All right, let's get into the next roll at least. I've got the second film strip loaded up into Epson, and this gives you a pretty good idea of the artificial river thing I was just talking about earlier. All of the surrounding mountains during the summer, obviously they're coated with snow during the winter, and the snow's got to go somewhere. So whenever it melts, it creates this artificial river. During peak season, it creates this kind of backflow. It's a, quote, global phenomenon, and all the park rangers talked about it whenever I was there a few years ago. It's pretty sweet, do not get me wrong. I'm glad that I was able to actually witness it, because it only lasts for a few weeks, and then all the kind of snow subsides, and then you just kind of get this weak little flow going on here. As I'm sitting here rambling on about water flowing through sand, I'm also trying to figure out why I shot Portra 400. I think I just didn't have any Ektar 100 at the time. I don't know. Let's get at least a zoomed in version of what I'm talking about here with the snow melt. Because again, giant sandbox. It is a madhouse in the summer. Your best bet is going during off season, which should be during the fall and in the spring. Again, like I was mentioning earlier, I've done some backcountry stuff here, which is pretty cool. You get to camp on the outer edges of the sand dunes, but then you also have the opportunity to camp in the sand dunes, which I think the next time I go down there, I'm going to try to get a permit to camp inside of the dune field here. This actually doesn't look too bad other than the fact that it's super dirty. Dust and hair and stuff all over it. This thing though is flowing like a madhouse in the middle of the summer. Right now it's a little dried up and stuff. And yeah, there's a little bit of green over here because of the water flow. Let's see what this 5th shot looks like. Oh, my eyes. It's very bright. Again, as I was just talking, I don't know why I was shooting Portra 400. I think I might have thought I loaded Portra 160. I have no idea. This was a few months ago, and so I always have an issue with trying to remember what my thought was 3 months ago. That's how it goes, though. we've got the preview rolling in, and survey says it's completely bright and I can't see anything. All right, going on to the next one. If it's anything like that one, I'm assuming it's going to be super bright as well. Yeah, incredibly bright. I'll at least get a full preview rolled up so you can kind of see it and melt your eyeballs. I do know it's incredibly hard to get the exposure right here. And again, with me shooting with a Hasselblad, I'm limited to 1/500th of a second, which is my biggest fault. I hate it so much with the Hasselblad. I really do wish I had at least 1,000th of a second. Oh, my eyes are burning. I might be able to get some of this back, but at the same time, I might not. It's just gonna look kind of terrible whenever you start bringing it back and stuff. I might be able to salvage it. Out of the 3 on this strip, I'm definitely gonna go with the kind of into the sun river shot here. It's probably the best out of the 3, which isn't saying a whole lot, honestly. It's a little dark, it's a little blue. We're gonna kind of play around with the blues here, then it's probably gonna be a little green. Just playing with it. Get that marquee tool moved out, but as soon as you do that, it kind of resets the whole process, but that's okay. Cool. I think that's our best bet here. Let's get a full scan rolled up. As I've got the next film strip loaded up into Epson, I'm already questioning why I even decided to take photos of the sand dunes when they were all going to be this nuclear leveled, overexposed crap. I'm really disappointed in myself because this one is belligerently bright as well. I'll get the full preview at least so you can burn your eyes out together. I don't really know what I was thinking. I don't know why I was shooting Portra 400. Maybe I was just trying to blow through the roll. I'm just sitting here so confused at myself. It was also a few months ago and I hate having to go back and track what I was doing, but oh, my eyes. Hurts to look at. And if that one's bad, I'm assuming all the other ones are going to be bad too. Yep, that one's pretty bad. I'm actually liking this composition. You get a lot of texture with the water flow, but again, so bright. Please be good. I'm just going to move on to the next one. These are all so bad. I don't know what is going on with my workflow. Maybe I'm just being rushed. Oh, these are so bad. I think I'm able to maybe salvage one of these. I guess you'll find out here in a few seconds because I'll have one edited, but I'm not digging these at all. Got the final strip of the roll loaded into Epson, and this one isn't as bright, so that's always a plus. It actually has some decent exposure in it. Got my homie Kenny down there posing about. I don't know what we were doing. This was the next morning after we camped out at the dunes. We tried to get a sunrise, but I think we both slept in. It wasn't really worth it. I think I'm just salty about this trip because I failed to bring my Hasselblad up to the tallest dunes whenever we did some hiking, because it's always so windy and you're getting literally sand blasted at the top. But as soon as we got to the top, it was the most primo conditions known to man. Perfect lighting, no wind, calm, still, and I didn't bring my Hasselblad because I got scared, because every time I envisioned myself just taking a photo and just grinding the next advancement because of all the sand getting inside of it. Next time. Okay, enough rambling about the shots that I could have got. Let's talk about the shots that I did get. Again, like I said, got the homie Kenneth down there. It was his first time at the sand dunes and he was blown away. He thought it was sick. I try to tell everyone to go to the sand dunes because it's so cool. And again, it doesn't feel like you're in America, let alone Colorado of all places. Because let's be real, when you think of Colorado, you think of mountains, not sand dunes. But I think that's another reason why this park is so cool. Look at the dude down there. That is so sick. At those beautiful leading lines. Footprints in the sand. He's chilling. It was pretty cold in the morning. That's why we had our jackets and beanies on. But it gets so hot so fast. This next one I'm kind of curious about because I'm digging the composition. It's kind of bright. Whoa, what was that? I guess I might be able to salvage this one, honestly. I think I will be able to play around with it and get a pretty cool shot from it. It's incredibly bright, on the left side because I think that's where the sun was also shining, obviously. And I think I exposed for the left side. I hope I can get something out of this. Let's get a full shot. Because I know we were walking around these sort of smaller sand dunes in the morning. Oh, my eyes are burning again. I don't know why this is going on. I could probably get this to work. I guess you're gonna find out here in a few seconds whenever I have a full edited shot roll in. I think I could get something with this. And the final shot on the roll is just so bright. I don't know what I was doing. I really don't know why I was shooting Portra 400. I think I didn't have any rolls of Ektar 100 at the time because I was planning on going to Jackson, Wyoming in a few weeks. And I think that's when I picked up some rolls. I'm just making up excuses here, I think. That is so bright. It's a nice composition because you get this lonely little green bush in the middle of the sand dunes, but my oh my, is so bright. I think the shots out of this one are definitely going to be this little sand dune here. Maybe even the homie Kenneth because it's the only shot on this entire roll that I think I have with a semi-decent exposure. This is a weird roll. Back-to-back weird rolls. Well, that wraps up episode 3 of Roll Reveal, and quite frankly, that's just a weird roll to talk about back-to-back weird rolls. And honestly, it's kind of embarrassing how bad that was with the exposure. The composition was all right in some of the shots, but the exposure is terrible. I really don't know what I was thinking, but that's kind of why I'm doing this behind-the-scenes episodes, because it's not all glitz and glam, especially when you're shooting film photography. So much I was up in the air with just the actual process of film. That's just how it is. And I think Instagram is just a highlight reel of all of bangers and bangers and bangers, and it's very fake, and I'm starting to get very burnt out of it. I'm still going to be posting a lot of these shots. That's still what it's there for, but my next creative outlet, I think, is going to be this YouTube thing. It feels way more personable. I can converse about my workflow. It just seems more natural to me, which is why I'm doing these kind of behind-the-scenes rolls. I think it's cool. I mean, I've got 2 here in my hand to shoot. This one's dated July 2nd, and the other is August 10th. So I have Jackson, Tetons, Black Canyon of Gunnison, another 14er I summited in Mount Princeton out near Leadville. I did Pikes Peak a few weeks ago, which is just right out my window here in Colorado Springs. So much content to shoot and to share and to edit. As always, I appreciate the support. Like I was saying just a second ago with Instagram being a little bit boring, I'm just burnt out of it. YouTube is definitely going to be my next creative outlet. So again, whatever you got to do to smash the sub, share it. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers here on YouTube. I know it's possible. I'm trying to get the editing and the workflow down to make it easier on myself to then get more video content out to you guys. All right, until next time, peace.